Welcome to this new episode of BWB Brunch with Books, where we reignite the joy of reading in those who have lost this amazing habit of reading. We want you to attend this because we are going to narrow down the big lessons into small golden nuggets, a very easy nugget for learning so that you can apply them easily in your life. Let me get my co-authors.
Hi.
Geetha. Hello,
Hello.
Dr. Geetha.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi. Hi, Siddharth. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. Let me
Thank you.
see if I can get Sritapa as well. We had a discussion on ThreeMenInABoat, the classic, which is a century-old book, but we have learned so much from it, and still we are going to learn more. And that is why we have our author friend, Dr. Geetha, a very prolific writer and author of bestseller books. I have on the other side Sritapa, who has written more than 5 books. She's part of 7 authors also. And I am using this platform to learn from them, to know more and understand what is more coming from Three Men and a Boat. So over to you, Dr. Geetha. What is there in the store today?
Hi, everyone. Welcome to BWB. And I am super delighted to be here and very excited to take you all on a journey of new books and new perspectives. So, if you have been following, are you all very excited to know what else is going on in the lives of these three friends as they go on that boating trip up the river Thames, and their adventures turn into misadventures, and it becomes a roller coaster ride of laughter and a comedic travelogue, which is trending even 130 years later, and so much of insights and takeaways, which we can use in our life and which we are giving to you in BWB. And we also should not forget the power of literature and words to change our perspective, to make us understand ourselves and the world around us in better manner. So if you all are waiting to know what are the new insights, just jump in and let us begin. So you have, where the friends have already started on their journey on the river Thames, and they are, sailing and so happy and tranquil. Right now, they are inside that mole sail lock, waiting for the boat to go into the broader side of the river. So this lock is a place which is like a narrow channel, which is filled with water. Boat will be locked inside that, and there will be gate on either side. And they will be either increasing or decreasing the level of the water, so that the boat can go onto the same level of water. So as they are there and they observe the people who are dressed in beautiful boating costumes walking on the sides of the banks of the river Thames there. And it is like a festive season, and it's like a Sunday a kind of occasion for them to have a walk and watch all these boats inside the wholesale lock. So, Jerome starts to think of the beautiful experience he had when he had gone on a picnic with his friends. But he doesn't forget to comment on his own good taste of dressing. So he says he has got a very good taste in dressing. It is very understated and elegant. But he doesn't like Harris, sense of dressing, because he uses yellow colors most, and it doesn't suit with his skin. And both of them agree they don't like the sense of dressing of George at all, because George goes for these oriental colors, oriental designs. And you know what? George had bought one new shirt, and he had asked them, what do you think about it? Immediately both of them said it is good to frighten the birds. And George was really George was really angry about that, annoyed with that comment. So now, as Jerome is explaining about the boating picnic, he remembers very distinctly, after so many, a long time back that had happened, he remembers these two beautiful girls. And they were dressed so well in this muslin cloth and the silk hat and frills, and so beautiful, as if, yes, stepped just out of the fashion magazine of the boating.
Yeah.
And yes, and as they come and sit inside the boat, they are very finicky, seeing that it is so dusty, and the young men run around to wipe it and all that, but then also they are cringing. And then, you have these, the boisterous young men who are using the oar, and the water starts to splash. And Jerome is very gentle with the oar, but then there is that young man called as the bow, who is so boisterous, the water splashes like an avalanche on these two girls.
Oh my
And
God.
they're like the martyrs going to be taken to the stake. They sit there with the bearing all that discomfort, and they hide under the rug, and they cover themselves with the umbrella. their sufferings don't end there, all right? So they have somehow survived it, because even one drop of water falls on their beautiful clothing, it is going to leave a stain. So now they go onto the banks of the river, and now they're having the food there. And there again, they have to really bear that suffering. So these young men, plate filled with heaps of food. They somehow trip on the knots or the roots of the trees or something, and they just trip, and the plate starts flying with all the food, and they somehow dodge that and sit there. And finally, they think they have escaped it. Wow comes out with the observation. Now we are come to the fun part. And this is the most fun of all. And they asked, one of the girls asked, what is it? He says, now we are going to have the, washing up in the river. And they say, what is it? He says, you have to bend down into the river and slosh the utensils in the running water in the river.
Oh,
they say, we are not dressed. Yes. And they say, we are not dressed for it. And, this young man Bo says, no, that is the fun part of it. Just tuck your clothes in, and he really makes them bend down and wash the utensils. Oh my God, poor things, Sritapa, have you come across such insensitive people who don't have empathy at all? Does it happen? So, what do you think, Sritapa?
Yeah. I think this is something which happens in many a times in our lives. So quite often in India, when there is any victory in cricket match, cricket is a big craze here. So if India and some other team plays, and if it is a day where we are lucky and India wins, then no matter whatever is the time of the day, if it is maybe at midnight or anytime after 10 p.m., people go crazy. They just celebrate. So there are people who are so happy about it that they start playing music, bursting crackers in the middle of the night. And unfortunately here we don't understand the situation where the neighborhood is silent during night. And elder people, they, if someone comes and requests them also that it's too loud, can you just make it less noisy and not burst firecrackers at the middle of the night? At times they become very arrogant and say that don't you support India? Should you not celebrate? But instead of understanding the concern of the person, we just react. So that is, lacking empathy. Even us, maybe an infant is sleeping at this hour, and woke up and started crying.
Yeah, older people and pets also. Children.
Pets also is so disturbing for them, and moreover, there can be a student who is preparing for exam or focusing on studies. You have the focus as well.
And
so
now
just
there are exam days actually,
exams going on.
Exam around, construction work can also distract. It is just a firecracker. We are not mindful about what is happening around. Suppose board exam are going, and this is exam time in India, and there is a construction work, but it is supposed to be a silent hour during the afternoon, yet the owner is irresponsible and is allowing the work to continue, and is disturbing all these students around. So it is
I agree.
which we have to be mindful of and be considerate when we live in a society. We should live with empathy with people around us.
Agree, totally agree.
Yeah, what do you think, Geetha?
Yes, definitely. Empathy is something that we really need to, inculcate within us. And let us see what else is going on with the two friends. Remember, George, they're going to meet him in the next town. So now they are again sailing on the river Thames, and Harris, he sees the tomb of Mrs. Thomas. Yes, the tomb of Mrs. Thomas, and he wants to go and visit it. But Jerome says, I don't want to see anybody's grave. He puts his foot down. And Harris is like a small child. He gets very angry. He says, if I had known we are not going to visit that tomb, I wouldn't have come. And, Jerome, just to distract him, he says, there is lemonade there, have it. So he starts this ranting and raving against the lemonade. And when even Jerome says, we have to meet George, he'll get late, he starts ranting and raving against George. Why couldn't he come with us earlier? Why he has to, come late like that? And in his anger, he pulls at the wrong line, and the boat goes to the banks, okay? And he falls inside the hamper, face down and legs up. And then somehow, Jerome pacifies him, and they go on to the Kempton Park, which is a beautiful beauty spot where they can have a picnic. So now if Harris is going to have food, he's going to quieten down, right? So they are having their beautiful 3-course meal of bread and jam, okay? They are enjoying that. And as they're enjoying that, Suddenly, one gentleman drops in and he looks them up and down and he says, "Do you guys know you are trespassing?" So Harris, he says, "Oh, I didn't know. We did not think about that subject at all. Since you are telling us about it, okay, we'll think about it." He says, "Yes, you're definitely trespassing. Okay, we'll take your word for it," Harris says. And then he says, "I have to do my duty. It's my bounden duty to evict you both." He says, "Yes, please go ahead and do your duty." And that Harris is a half hefty young man. He's tall and hefty, and that gentleman is very slight of build. He understands he can't physically throw them out. So he says, "Now I'll go and talk to my owner, and I'll come and tell you what needs to be done." And then he never comes back. And Harris tells, Jerome tells Harris, "This is the way of the world where people will take you for a ride. And especially they will find ways to make money. And especially the tourists, if they are not careful, people will come and say, we are the owners, we are the agents of the owners, and they will try to extort money. And lazy tourists, without even finding out, whether that is true, they'll give them money and help them to grow in that shady business." And Harris listens. So Jerome says, we have to be careful in this way. We shouldn't allow such kind of thriving of this shady business. And then Jerome also is very angry that people are, proprietors are saying, "This tributary is mine, this backwater is mine," and putting up stakes into the riverbed, and putting up, even chains there and saying, "Trespass is not allowed. We will prosecute you. You are not, we'll kick you out." All the kinds of boards there. And Jerome says, "I get so angry, I would pull out this board and hammer their heads with it and bury them there and stick that, notice there in their grave." And Harris, he is much more angry, right? He says, "I would go further. I would, even their relatives and friends also, I will hammer them and bury them. And I will put up the,
Oh my God.
put up the notice there, their own notice I will put up there. And I'm going to sing a comic song on their ruins. That is secret, I'll tell you later." And, and he goes on. And it is with the difficulty that Jerome quietens Harris and makes him to have kinder, thoughts, because it says, it is, we have that sense of justice in us, but it should not turn into vindictiveness. Do you also agree, Sritapa, that sense of justice, should it, become intolerant? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I can already see one of them, agreeing to our previous example that yes, construction work is disturbing their child for, focusing on studying. So similarly, another related example I have here is people do not realize that when they are utilizing the public space, how if they are not mindful, how disturbing it can be. So here, one of my friends entered a restaurant, and he wanted a quiet place to enjoy his meal with another friend. And in the same restaurant, there was a birthday celebration happening. And they were all young, college goers. They were celebrating a birthday party of one of their friends. And yes, the song was on, everything was going. They were very loud and giggling and laughing and making noise. And suddenly they started singing with their very weirdest voices. They all almost yelling and shouting, and then started dancing. So there was a lot of chaos and noise. The entire environment became very noisy and chaotic. My friend who went after office for a peaceful place to, chat something important with another friend, was so disturbed and couldn't even hear him properly. So he just requested, "Can you just lower your voice a little bit? We are not even able to listen to each other." That's where a heated discussion started, because the guy is not ready to understand. It's like, this is our celebration. We are celebrating. If you are not comfortable, you can leave and go somewhere else. So,
terrible.
yeah, noise pollution. Yeah, noise pollution is something, this is also related to mindful living, where you are and mindfully using the public places. Like we go in buses or train or restaurant, we play something loud, or we do something loud. It can disturb people, even in hospital, that matter. So we need to be very careful on that.
Yes, I agree totally. Totally.
Very true.
Do you think, Siddharth, do you have something relevant to share with us on this?
I have a different example actually. So there was a, place where we are. I used to stay earlier. There was a like a Baba guy. Okay? he used to give some pravachan, and he used to wake up very early, like
Oh,
2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning,
oh
and he
my
had his
God.
big number of followers, and everybody will start chanting whatever he's saying. He'll give some like one, two word thing, and everybody is chanting. So think about it, like 2 a.m. in the morning, and there's so much noise and commotion coming from one house, and everybody is thinking that okay, what happened, what happened. Then slowly people came to know, okay, this Baba is there, he's waking up early and he's giving some pravachan, and he is on loudspeaker. Everybody,
Oh my God.
his
Noise pollution
noise
booming.
pollution. And because I mean, some days you can still tolerate, but every day if it is happening,
Yeah.
you will get a definitely everybody will become insomniac, not getting.
And sick people and
Yeah,
old people,
zombies can
young
exist,
babies. Oh my God.
not humans. I think even the animals, it will be disturbing always if
And
it goes like
then
this.
somebody the society actually complained against him. He said that no, this you are not understanding the power of these mantras. You don't. These have to be called upon in the morning this hour only. So people went ahead, and there was a lot of fight. He didn't had any sensitivity towards the society where he lived. Uh, so he had to be dealt with some administrative notices and all that. And finally, somebody told him that don't do this because then you will go to jail. Ultimately, that was the end point of it. Just to not go to that limit, he stopped it. But it happens. In India, we have
Yeah,
seen this
this can
happening a
happen.
lot of
Yeah,
times.
yeah. In
And
at
we
least
I
Yeah.
have
in
seen
India,
this.
this is
Yeah,
yeah, this is something which we need a stricter, law in place to
I think
to
more than
prevent
law, more than
marginalization.
law, it is everybody if they can just be more mindful about uh,
Yes.
the
Being mindful is important.
yeah, about the
Yeah,
environment you live in. If you are living alone in a jungle, then you can keep shouting. Nobody will hear. Only maybe animals will come to
even
listen to
then
Yeah,
you.
animals will
But
animals
come to
can
know
protest.
that you are there.
We don't know it. I think there will be an animal
but
They'll come and
association.
eat you.
urban life, yeah, we have to
Let's
be more
attack this
cautious.
human.
In the jungle, they'll keep fight. The tiger,
Elephants are brave and tigers are good at
I,
action.
I have a very good example for that, but for another day. That also happens. Animals do come to listen to you.
Very true, very true.
I have seen that myself. So anyway, that is for another day. But let's go back to this topic. So what else is there in a store, Geetha ji, in the next part of it?
So, as I told you, Harris says that he's going to sing his comic song. And, Jerome tells us in secrecy, he says, Harris thinks that he is very good at that comic song. Now, comic songs doesn't need any kind of melody. It just needs to remember the lyrics and just vocalization of it. And Harris, he thinks that he is the great singer, but the whole world, the humankind doesn't think he's a great singer. But whenever they go to a party, they say, Harris, sing a song. Harris says, oh, I will sing, but not any song. I will sing the comic song. And he says it in such a way that people think that he is so good and it can't be missed. And so they will gather all their friends there in the party and everybody gathers around and looks at him expectantly.
Hmm.
And Harris, he starts the song. He can remember only the first three lines of that whatever song he's singing. And he has a
Yeah.
tendency to mix up two different songs together. And because he cannot remember any of the only the three first sentences he can remember, he keeps on repeating it until the chorus has come. And then when he's in the second stanza, suddenly he remembers the lines of that first stanza, and without any notice, he starts singing that. And he makes that pianist so nervous, he drops the notes. But Harris is so comforting. Oh, you don't worry. I am going to help you. Let us
Oh my God.
let us start again. And then
Uh,
the pianist really says, okay, let us start. And then when they start, Harris's voice is so a little bit low. And the pianist says, please sing a little bit louder. And
hmm.
then Harris sings so loudly, it goes to such a high pitch. The people in the party are so scared,
Yeah.
and there is an old woman who is sitting there. She's taken aback and she's shocked and she's shaken up and she starts to cry. And they have to lead her out of the party. And Jerome thinks, why is Harris torturing the people like this? They haven't harmed him at all. They haven't done anything to harm him. Why is he torturing him like this? And you know what? In that same party, there were two students who had come from another country, and they had come with that professor. The professor was having a supper downstairs, and the students understood that these people are waiting to hear a comic song. So they tell the people there, the party goers, inside the party, he says, I have a wonderful comic song. If you listen to it, you will die laughing. And the professor, he had sung that song, and the emperor, in front of the emperor, he had sung, and the emperor was, carried to his bedroom weeping. So now they are very curious. They want to hear to the song. He goes and brings the professor. Professor settles down in front of the piano. And also the students had told the people before the professor came, when he starts to sing, don't be taken by his voice. It may sound like it is sad. He may have expressions like as if he's, in pain. And he may be, making all those kinds of movements as if he's going to cry. Don't be taken by that, because it is actually the fun part. When he has that contrast only, it is going to be very comical. And you will die laughing, he had said. So everybody was ready. And Jerome, everybody thinks that Jerome knows that language. But Jerome has forgotten that language 2 years back itself, and he's very happy about it. But he hasn't told anybody that he has forgotten that language. He pretends that he knows the songs, the lyrics of the words of the song. So professor starts to sing, and he's singing it such a wailing way. If they hadn't known it was a comic song, they would have started to cry, because they know that it is a comic song. They start to laugh. So now Jerome looks at the students to know when he has to laugh. So when the students are standing behind the professor, and they will be laughing, and Jerome also will laugh. And the other party goers look at Jerome, and when Jerome is laughing, they also laugh. So Jerome will be throwing in a little bit more of laughter and giggles in between to show that he can understand. And the first time the professor is a little bit surprised, he looks at them, and then he goes on, and then the people are laughing their head off, and his movements are becoming more and more like a wailing and anguish and crying, and his expression is becoming more and more ferocious, and people are laughing their head off. Finally, he cannot tolerate it anymore. The professor stands up and starts dancing. He starts waving his fists. He starts, shouting at them. And it turns out that it was not a comic song. It was a sad song. It was a song. Yeah, it was a song about a young girl. She had given up her soul to save the soul of her lover, and her soul goes to meet the soul of that lover in the other world. But that lover's soul has rejected her soul and gone after another woman's soul. And she's so sad, and he is singing about that. And the professor says, when I had sung it in front of the emperor, he had to be taken to his bedroom crying. And people now, they don't know what to say. Party becomes very silent. Everyone becomes very quiet. One by one, they exit the party, and suddenly the party is empty. And when they are looking for the students, they are not there. They have disappeared already when the professor started dancing with anger. And what insensitivity, this is what I feel, such insensitivity of Harris, who doesn't understand how he is, not understanding the needs and the feelings of the people. Have you come across such kind of experiences, Sritapa? There is so much of insensitivity.
Yes, absolutely. So here I will like to take a serious topic of bullying. Okay, people start thinking it's a fun. So, so I will specifically focus on college and school now. But bullying can happen anywhere, everywhere. But suppose college students or school students, when they go to school, recently an incident also happened in India where a young boy had to lose his life because of this. So he was just normally going to school with all his class friends around. He's good in education, focused in studies, and suddenly when we see that he's trying to mingle with people, some bunch of school students, they try to harass, bully, and pass comments, mentally torture, physically torture them, say some hurt messages, and can be so disturbing that the child who was focused in studies, good at education, felt so much torture that he started withdrawing himself, staying away from people, staying away from friends. He just became in silo, and then it went to such an extent that he couldn't take any more and he killed
Yes.
himself.
Mm.
So such
So
incidents,
sad.
Very sad.
where a child wanted to study, a child deserves a good environment,
Yes.
and it is our moral responsibility to provide them. So it is the school environment which needs to be supportive of each other. The student, I don't know, they are criminals, I can say. This kind of mindset is so
Yes,
dangerous.
definitely.
You are laughing at someone's pain is insane. You are
It's
laughing
not
and
done.
celebrating someone's pain is just insensitive to a level which should not be tolerated anywhere. So
Exactly.
I think bullying, ragging, all these things are just to for initially to give that courage to face situations. Till that it was okay, but when it goes to a mental and a physical torture level to an extent that a person cannot take it anymore, uh, that is very dangerous and I think is horrible.
Very
And
true.
which
Very true.
needs to
Awareness
be
has to be
considered
given
that what
about
we
that.
are doing. Yeah, very very
Very well.
insensitive. So Siddharth, do you have anything something which you want to share in this space?
Sorry. I had my throat is getting choked when I'm listening to this because
Yes, very sad. Imagine the parents and the snuffing out of the child's life with such a cruel behavior. We are humans after all,
yes,
right? We are not
And
animals. Even the animals support each
this
other.
can
But
this
we humans, what do we
yeah,
do? And at such a young age, where we have tender feelings, it's not
and this is
done.
just not something which has happened once or twice. This is happening so frequently these days that this needs to be spoken about. That what's wrong with the society and the people, and what kind of children or next gen are we raising? Are we
Definitely.
giving are we raising mindful people? Is what we need to
yeah,
Mindful with
uh,
sensitive
I
feelings,
think
for the world
and
around.
yeah,
yeah, I think it is
there
there.
are these
Uh,
keywords.
I think it is there everywhere, and this is where the values matter a lot. What is the value which you have grown up with,
Yes.
and how deep rooted those are? Because I've seen this bullying happen even in corporate. I have a very quick example for this because many times I've seen that young people who join, like just coming out from the college, they join the corporates. They don't have any knowledge of how these corporates work. They are quite new to the environment. When they come to the projects, they are given like lots of work, and they are just in that mindset of yes boss, yes boss. They are bullied
Yeah.
a lot that time.
How
The
shameful.
boss is, yeah, the boss is just making him work, giving him times at work at times when you are sleeping. So there are no hours of working left. There is no normal life balance left. So work-life balance
So
left. So
sad.
that is what happens with these bullying activities, and it is so. Uh, I would say shameful for everybody who is involved in this because ultimately it is going to create a negative thought process in the person's mind. Like you are
Yes.
talking about the children, even in adults that is happening, and
Absolutely.
then they get into this. Even if they are growing, they think that this is normal. We start thinking this is the normal way of living. We should be bullied because we are learning, and then
and
this
they
should
and
be
they
the
in turn will
they
bully
will
the others, so they create such kind of
right.
in
So
other leaders.
it's like a chain reaction which
Yes,
we initiate, right? And it's a very
exactly.
harmful reaction which we are initiating. I feel
Definitely.
I feel it is happening everywhere, even in countries. I mean, outside India, it is happening. So we definitely should be mindful about it. Um, but like we learned today about of empathy as a first lesson. Second lesson, we were learning about intolerance, how vindictive intolerance can become, right?
Yes.
And this one, bullying, becoming so insensitive for. So it is like you are exploiting somebody's weakness. You know that that person has this weakness and you're exploiting it. So that is, I think, again, very derogatory. We should not get into it.
Yes.
And it's a lesson we should learn for ourselves. If this is happening to us, then what is the impact? I think that is how we should look at it. We should just put ourselves in that shoe and then see that if we were in that situation, how would we react to it? That is how we should look at these situations and get rid of our thought process of bullying. People who are bullying, we should try to stand against that. I think that is how
Yes.
the good Samaritan would be, right?
Yes.
Uh, to have a society which is empathic, about whatever value system exists in the society. Everybody understands it and mindfully approaches the people around them. They live with a lot of uh, positivity in their life.
Yes,
Try to get rid of this whatever in I would say insane practices which we are getting into.
definitely. I agree totally.
Totally.
So with
Yeah.
that, I think we are close to time. We are going to have our next session on nonfiction, and I want everybody to be part of it who is not getting time to read. Also, for these valuable insights and valuable lessons which we are learning in these sessions are like mind blowing, I would say, right? Because we are talking about something which is actually to improve ourselves, not only ourselves but the society also. So it is amazing to be part of it. Thank you so much, Geetha ji. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Sritapa, for
Thank you,
being part of it.
Siddharth.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Siddharth.
Thank you,
everybody
Sritapa.
who joined
Wonderful to be
us.
here.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yes.
See you in the next
See you all.
week,
Thanks, my lovely
next
audience.
non-fiction session which we are having this week. Until then, tata bye bye. Shabbat.
Yes.
See you in the next
See you all.
week.
Thanks, my
Hello everyone, we are back. We have the non-fiction book discussion. So let me quickly invite all my, speakers for author friends. Let's have the non-fiction book we are discussing today. What to say when you talk to yourself. Level 5. That is the highest level from Shad Hemstetter. So Sujata ji, today I am very excited to know from you what is there in for that level. Sujata ji, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Actually, we've done level 1. I can't. We've done level 2 also. I should. Level 3, I never. And level 4 also, I am. But now we go to the top level. That is level 5. That's level 5 in what Shad Hemstetter says is that at this level, you are. Your words aren't just affirmations, they are your identity. It's no longer I'm trying to be confident. It's I am confident. It's no longer I'm learning to be a speaker. It's I am a speaker. So your self-talk has reprogrammed your brain so deeply that you no longer question it. You just live it. Now, there are very amusing examples of it in the book Three Men in a Boat. The king of self-talk at level 5, what I feel is Montmorency. Like, imagine he is just a little fox terrier, but he thinks he's a fierce warrior and he knows everything. Imagine that he struts into the neighborhood, chest puffed out, ears all perked up, looking uh, at all other dogs like, bow before me, peasants. I am the alpha. I am the terror of the streets. I'm the destroyer of the world.
Oh
I'm the
my God.
toughest, fiercest, most dangerous dog in existence. But in reality, what happens? He's half their size. And every time he picks a fight, he gets chased. And who does he run to? To the unsuspecting Jerome. But does that shake his self-belief? No, never. Even after getting scared out of his wits by a tomcat, he walks away as if he won the battle and the cat was lucky to escape. Imagine his self confidence. If only, like, that's the level we should reach. That's what I think Shad Hemstetter wants to say. Like, he doesn't say, I should be brave. He believes that I am the
He's
toughest
brave.
boy. Yes.
Yeah.
And the real life takeaway is also there. That is like when I were to give a TED talk, like I was initially nervous. Yes, that was, at the lower levels. But then finally, when I walked on the stage, I thought, I am a speaker. I am meant to be on that stage. And that clicked it. That last shift, it changed everything. I walked onto that stage, not hoping I belonged there, but knowing I did. And that's the power of level 5. Yes, Siddharth, would you like to add something to this?
Sure. I'll add definitely, but before that, I think the story where we are connecting here is that Shad Hamstetter says that level 5 is all positive affirmation, saying that
Hmm.
I am already this. But to get to that
Yes.
level, you should have a lot of courage and confidence on yourself. When we are
Agree.
taking this Montmorency example, It is,
Yes.
very funny and also very inspiring, because it's like we are saying that it's a small, it's a fox terrier. It's a very small dog,
Hmm.
but then that dog has that courage to face even a tomcat, and thinking that he is
Yes.
like even bigger than that. So when I relate to it, I can think about myself like 3 years back, where I had no clue of my author journey, and I was just
Yes.
starting. I had no confidence,
Hmm.
and then I was just learning. But then, in the last 2 years, something phenomenal has happened. I have
Right.
started believing that I am an author. I have started using this word, I am an author, and that has
Hmm.
changed so much around me that. I was having very low confidence when
Hmm.
I was thinking that, oh, there are so many big,
Hmm.
big authors. If I start
Hmm.
talking in front of them, how will even I stand in front of them? But then
Hmm.
slowly this confidence has built up, and this confidence
Hmm.
has helped me uh, s- changing my terminology for myself, the self-talk I do to myself, that
Right.
I want to become like this rather than I want to become like them. I started saying I am them. I am author. I'm an author. I can do this, and that has changed the complete perspective. So I feel this change in the self-talk of saying to yourself that you are already capable of this. This is just a phase which you have to keep building on, and you will cross much beyond this, and you will reach much beyond this. So that I think is the reason why you can see the booker at the back. So book
Hmm.
getting a booker from IA is not a easy deal. So I'm sure everybody who is part of IA knows that how much hard work it is. But then now
Yes.
becoming a Booker Prize winner, it is like, okay, I can do this. I can do much more than that. So that is, I think, where I'm carrying this. I am every day. I am, waking up, and I'm sure that I have already done this. I can do more, and that is, I think, the confidence. What do you say, Sritapa?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to give my author journey as an example, because just giving that as a, when I started, I think we were one of the, regular buddies who were catching up, and
Right.
how, what was my confidence level at that time. I was so shaky that I was not even hoping that I will be able to publish a book, and my confidence was very less, but gradually it was building on. But from there, currently my statement has changed altogether. I just confidently say now that I am a best-selling author whose writings impact people, and they inspire, educate, and are reaching and relatable to many people. And that's where I take pride and say. And the way I had started my writing journey, and now when I you know uh, start my creative writing, there is a hell lot of difference, because it starts with confidence that now I
Right.
know it. I'm already
Right.
author of 6 books. So it itself makes that confidence level to level 5.
Right.
But was it there in day one? No, but that self talk was there. And I used to just wanted to say here that until you be, you just have to fake it until you make it. This is a
Yeah, I
very
think
good
this is more of owning it, owning that
yeah.
vibe. Owning that
Just
vibe.
own
Yeah.
it that yes, you are, and you will be. So just
Right.
accept and say I am,
Yes.
rather than I want to be. That was very
Yeah. So you
important.
become
Uh,
yourself
yeah.
accountable for it, and you
Yeah.
own it, and you become that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one more, I think, personal experience which I wanted to share here is, if anyone is stuck anywhere in their life, struggling with something, and for them, I think the statement should be that this is just a phase, and I'm absolutely doing fine, and I'm learning and growing and evolving in every day, step by step.
Yes.
I'm going towards
Yes.
success, and this is what is helping me to learn and grow in life. And this is just a learning as part of a challenging journey, which I'm able to easily deal with it. If you say that, I think you can make every situation look less, and solutions will automatically come your way. So that
Very well said.
positivity
Yes.
and that mindset is needed. With this, I give it back to Sujata ji for some more insights.
Yes.
Maybe.
And just reminded of another incident in Three Men in a Boat. The one with the kettle. He decides to pick a fight with the kettle, a steaming, boiling, hissing kettle. The kettle spits hot water at him, but he is unfazed. Of course, he jumps back. And what does he do next? He doesn't walk away like any normal dog would. He growls, circles it, and lunges again. Because in his mind, he's already won the battle. Nobody can defeat him. So that's his confidence.
Yeah.
He believes it so much. And yes, it has happened also. I remember initially I was quite nervous when I had to face the camera, when even on Insta Live.
I can relate.
But I used to feel I don't know how I'm looking like, whether my hair is looking all right, and of course, with my age must be showing on the screen. But then now I feel age or whatever it may be, I am what I am, and what I speak with confidence because I am who I am. So I think slowly that kind of thing, we need to reprogram our brain and believe that.
Mhm.
That's what Shad Hemstetter also wants, and that's the lesson that we must learn to succeed in life. That's what I feel. And now, would you like to add anything, Siddharth?
Yeah, definitely. You look awesome. And
Thank
age is
you.
just a number for you. Keep inspiring us every day. So you rock. I think everybody is saying that also. You are
Yeah.
rocking.
Yes, I feel like you rock, Sujata.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we are learning from you actually. So yeah, I have too many examples like these because I have been an introvert in my childhood, and it was very difficult for me to face people. I mean, it was such a difficult phase for me that when I had to go for engineering, there were so many people who were actually planning to, you know, bully me and say something which I will not feel good about, and they continuously did that, and I was feeling like where have I come? But then I had to keep my focus that I am here for studies and I am here for a reason, and in a year's time, because of my academic maybe a focus, I made a mark. I became a topper in the class, and that was itself like a statement to them that you cannot mess with me. So the people who were bullying me before that came to me for asking questions that how to solve this, how to solve that, and that completely changed the equation. And that
Right.
gave me the confidence that so whatever I am, I had been just like a very a boy who is very full of fears and not able to face people. But then I was just focused on what I was planned to do, and that completely changed the gears, and that has given me the I think I've got the wings to fly much higher. And also people who were against me came. So I had one incident where a person who was actually a son of a minister, and he always carried a gun. Even in the engineering college, he used to come with a gun. And that guy was so. I mean, everybody was afraid of him.
My
But then
God.
I he came to me and he said that I want to befriend you, and I was like scared. I want to befriend you. And you was behind the bullying earlier, and I was like scared. I was also having this fear that what will happen if I befriend him. So, but then he said that I want to support you, and that completely changed the perspective. So I wanted to support you, and I wanted to help you. And the last, I mean, that was after the first year, and the next 3 4 years, even now I know him. For so many years, he has been there. He knows me. He is a minister level now, but he still has turned into my friend for long term, and that is crazy. And that is only because I started believing that I can do this. I changed the equation, and it came to this level that the friendship became a very strong one. So I think this amazing capability of saying that I can do it, I have confidence of myself, can change a lot of things. The
Yes.
only thing which we need is we need faith on ourselves. We need uh, every day to tell us, even during the dark times, we have to tell us that no, this is something which I am, and I am not going to change. or I'm going to change for better. And that is what
Hmm.
I think my life lesson has been. What do you say, Sritapa? Any other life lessons from your side?
Yeah, I think in career also, I can say that we often face some challenges and we get disturbed, and that is where we feel very low, very demotivated, and very lost. And less confidence, overwhelming is something which often happens in office, that you get overwhelmed with something, some comment, some email coming from client, or some conversation went wrong, some escalations happen. Anything can impact your confidence, where somebody the day didn't went as per your plan, and you got some nice you know there was a manager who maybe have spoiled or ruined your entire day, or maybe a boss coming from
Hmm.
other side, or the client side, business side. You never know what happens in your day that was not planned. So that is when I think we start thinking, maybe I'm not that good in this, maybe my responses are not going well, maybe I will not be able to code this, or I'm not sure if I'm able to meet this SLA or not. Everything, like we start saying all negative things when we need all positive things at that moment.
Hmm.
That is the time when you have to pull all the positive strengths back to you and say, okay, let me see what I can do from my end to give a
Hmm.
right response to this situation.
Hmm.
Or maybe at times people just lose their uh, anger, or something comes up and they say something, do something, and then they regret. So best approach at that time is, let me calm down, let me just think. I am the
Yes.
True.
person who can solve any problem. Problems
Hmm.
are for good. So that is what I think. If you say, you will make your life more better, meaningful,
Hmm.
and one fine day, you will definitely see these statements are helping you, because you are pulling all the positivity towards you, and you will give definitely something positive back. So that is why
True.
we say self talk is very important, because we are talking all positive talks for us to bring in that strength from within, to give back a positive response for good. So that is why
Very true.
level 5 is where people have that confidence in themselves, and they say, I am this. So there is no issues.
Hmm.
Let the issue come, let that thing happen. Do you
Hmm.
feel any business tycoon, may it be whoever, doesn't have any issues in life, doesn't have any problems, do not have to face any challenges, any financial crunches? Everything is happening in his life also. But do you feel they say that, oh my god, how will I run my firm tomorrow morning? No, I think they just get up and go as confidently, as positively as he had been the previous day, because something will come up. So that mindset we have to be in every day for ourselves, that I am the CEO of my life and I will drive it the way I want. So this is
Very
what
well
I
said.
want to give.
Very
Very
well
well said.
said.
CEO, hero, we are everything. I mean, we are the
Yes. You are the
savior
hero
for
of your
ourselves
life.
also.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
You are the hero, you are the doctor, you are the mentor, you are everything for your life. Just that self talk is what you have to talk.
Very true.
Very nice. Please.
In this book, what to say when you talk to yourself, and we have related all the 5 levels with real life situations, and this is what I think is concluding this book. And so stay tuned with us and see what is coming next. But something exciting definitely from us.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Enjoy. Bye bye.
Bye.